Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on DC TV and the Arrowverse as a whole, because it's another video based around Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, there was an interview done with LaMonica Garrett, who of course plays the Monitor as well as the Anti-Monitor in the upcoming Crisis crossover, and I guess Monitor from Elseworlds and from various points from this season of the DC TV shows. Now, there is lots to go over in this from this interview in this video, so I'm not going to waste your time here, but I didn't include every question and answer. There was heaps there. It'd probably take me like 25 minutes, honestly, to go through everything. And they have like minor details about behind the scenes stuff that I didn't think was worth including, but I will leave the interview linked in the description. Go read all the questions and answers, or you can stay and watch this video. And yeah, but of course, spoilers for Arrow and Flash's most recent episodes for a handful of questions here. But of course, throughout the video, it would be awesome if you could let me know your various thoughts and opinions on what we go over and what gets you most excited from what LaMonica has to say about the upcoming Crisis and certain things about that. Let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're excited for Crisis, why not drop a like on it to show you that support and hype. So yeah, let's just go through them. Pretty simple. The ending of Arrow Season 8 Episode 3 was crazy. We saw in a flash of light that future Team Arrow and present Team Arrow are now together, and I'm guessing it's because of the Monitor. Why would he do that? I think everything that the Monitor does, there's a greater purpose for it, whether it's to get more of what he needs out of a particular character, or to just, even disrupting that would get something out of a particular character that he needs to be fulfilled before the Crisis starts. So pretty much everything he does is leading up to the Crisis, and he needs all hands on deck and the right mental state to approach the Crisis. So it's not just physical, it's mental, and his main subject for the Crisis is Oliver Queen. So in another interview, I think it was, I think he says that it won't be revealed, I think in that episode, that the Monitor is responsible, but it might. It might, but it didn't say it was confirmed for that episode. It might be in like 3 episodes time where it's like, oh yeah, the Monitor caused this, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. It wouldn't surprise me if that episode just tells you it was him. The last time we saw the Monitor was at the end of Arrow Season 8 Episode 2. Where is he going to pop up next? The Flash? Arrow? He's making his rounds, and I think that the way they spring out the Monitor in different TV shows and different times, it's not oversaturated till you get sick of seeing him, and right when you forget about him, he shows back up. They do a great job of that because whenever you see him, it's reminding the audience as well as the characters on the show that this Crisis is looming. The closer it gets to Crisis, you'll start seeing more and more of him. So, technically we saw him at the end of the Flash episode, Flash episode 4, which was after episode 2 of Arrow, but I guess he wasn't there. It was like a hologram, so I guess that's still correct. Oliver doesn't really trust the Monitor anymore because of what he read in the League of Assassins records. How will the Monitor's relationship with Oliver play out moving forward? I think that's the fun thing about it. If Oliver was all in what the Monitor was doing and telling him, it wouldn't be as much fun to see what happens with it. So naturally, he has people in his ear like Diggle telling him, don't trust this guy, you create your own destiny, you don't have to listen to him. And he's one of his close friends. You have people around you telling you otherwise, and you're already starting to doubt. And now your kids get pushed into this timeline, that might be the final straw. He's not in a good place right now, so I think it's natural for him to distrust the Monitor, but the Monitor knows what he's doing. It might not be the right way of doing it, but it's all for a greater purpose. As the audience, should we trust the Monitor? I don't know if I would not trust him. I don't know if I'd be all in with him. It's like one of those situations that you keep an eye on him. He's kind of rated R, not PG-13. It's like, I don't know if I trust this guy yet, but I'm going to see how this plays out a little bit further. That's true, because it's still a little early before the crossover. A lot can happen. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen before then, so you can't be all in on hating him right now, and then he does something and turns everything around. Oh yeah, I liked him all along anyway. No, you didn't. Now, just quickly on all that, obviously, Oliver's going to have a bit of a distrust to the Monitor because of the League of Assassins records. I didn't, notice it in the episode. A lot of people have noticed it. No one really noticed it during the episode. It was more after the stuff. That in the records, it doesn't really look like the Monitor. Like, it looks like the Monitor, but the lines on the face sort of hint that it might be the Anti-Monitor based off, how the Anti-Monitor is going to look in the crossover. So it will be interesting to see if this leads to maybe like some sort of look at the Anti-Monitor and Arrow. But it wouldn't surprise me if that is the Anti-Monitor that's in that League of Assassins records, or it could just be a drawing of the Monitor with some squiggly lines on their face that sort of look like wrinkles, which is pretty much what the Anti-Monitor looks like, but I guess we'll find out in the next couple of episodes. I wanted to talk about Harbinger because we saw at the end of Arrow Season 8 Episode 2 the meeting between Lila and the Monitor. What was it like bringing that iconic duo from the comics to life? That was one of my favourite moments this season as far as what the Monitor was involved in. When I read that, I got really excited because that was my moment as the actor and as the Monitor of like, alright, the crisis is really about to be here. Because Harbinger and the Monitor are two of the key figures in Crisis. Them meeting for the first time, that was a wild moment for me. I knew it was coming because I filmed it, but then when I watched it, when Lila is walking and she's speaking to someone, the Monitor coming out of the shadows, that moment was like, yep, the crisis is here. That was awesome. And as for their relationship, more will come from who they are when the crisis starts, and that's part of the fun. You're laying all these breadcrumbs, culminating into something big later on. Will we get to see the pasts of Lila and the Monitor at all? You will get to know more about who the Monitor is and where he came from. A lot of that will fill in the blanks for other pieces that may be missing, but you'll get to know who the Monitor was back in the day, how he became who he is, and what he is about. You might even feel some empathy for him, some compassion. Now, just quickly on the whole Lila situation, people were confused about like how they set that up, and because the people were like, oh, it happened at the end, and people were like, no, it was set up in the episode. For people that are still confused, in episode 2, when Lila was talking about being saved by, I think, an IED, but like basically like a landmine on the road when she was in Afghanistan, and her whole troop died, but she survived. That's the Monitor. The Monitor saved her life there because she pretty much made a deal with his deity or god, which is the Monitor. So basically she's indebted to him. So yeah, that's what happened there and how they connected. The Monitor saved Lila's life. She's indebted to him and will work for him in this crisis. In the comics, the Monitor is killed by Harbinger, who is being possessed by the Anti-Monitor, while the Flash and Supergirl also die. Basically, a lot of people die, and a lot of crap happens. How much would you say the Arrowverse's version of Crisis differs from the comics, and how is the Monitor different? They did a lot of things pretty much identical to the comic books, as much as you can. It's hard to adapt everything to the screen, but without saying what's going to happen, they hit a lot of things on the head, some stuff they couldn't do. I think the way it plays out will be very satisfying for the audience. Die-hard Crisis comic book fans, they'll see a lot of similarities and some stuff, just for the sake of the story, they had to deviate from on screen. But it's still a great story and makes sense in the way it's told. So pretty much everything we've heard about Crisis in regards to its authenticity, I guess you could say, to the true story and what it's being adapted from, it's doing as much as it possibly can. Obviously some characters aren't in the Arrowverse and just won't be able to appear, so they have to maybe either leave out those storylines or move them to another character, which I think we all expected, but I'd expect them to be very comic accurate if they're going to adapt this big story that's been building up since Flash Season 1. I know with Avengers Endgame, not everyone was able to read the whole script, and this kind of feels on the same scale as that. Were you able to read the entire script for the crossover? Yeah, I read all 5 of them, and each one just got more and more, like the layers were unpeeling. Even as a fan, you know when you might read in the trades, like, oh, this person is attached, this person's now attached. There were people in the Crisis crossover that are attached that I had no idea. I didn't see the Deadline story or Variety or TV Fanatic, and that excited me when I read the scripts. Like, oh wow, they went there. I would get excited by reading it, so I know when it comes on, it's gonna be epic. Going over to the Anti-Monitor, can you say when we get to meet him? I don't want to give that away, but I think it's just like when the Monitor was introduced right before the crossover last year. That teaser with John Wesley's ship when he destroys Earth 90, that came out of left field and it was exciting. Jaws dropped when that scene happened, like what's going on? Who's that? I think the Anti-Monitor, he has a moment when he does make his appearance, his presence is already being felt on the current episodes, and when it gets closer and closer, his presence will really be felt. But I think when you finally see him, it's all going to pay off in that one moment. It's an awesome scene. Now, obviously, he's sort of hinting that we're going to get something along the lines of that scene from last season, just before the week before the Elseworlds crossover started. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Flash, I guess, because like a version of Wells is meant to be Pariah, so that we might see that happen in episode 8 of the Flash. It could be like the cliffhanger, like the last 5 minutes, or just a last minute scene or something like that. But obviously Arrow should be kept in mind because Arrow is pretty much a road to Crisis. So Arrow and Flash are probably the top 2 choices. Leaning more towards Flash just because of the Wells aspect, but you never know, they could just randomly do it on Supergirl. Who knows? For the Anti-Monitor, why now? Why does he feel as if this is the time to start destroying the Infinite Earths? Because he was made aware of it. It's just like in the comic books, he was completely unaware of the existence of certain universes in the multiverse, so now that he's been made aware of it, he has to destroy it. He's not doing things for a greater cause, like Thanos got rid of half the world so the other half would be prosperous and would have more resources. The Anti-Monitor is not about that, he's just about killing everything and making one world under his thumb to match his identity. It's just pure evil. He just wants to see the world burn under his watch, and that's fun to play as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the Anti-Monitor in a nutshell. There's really no better way to explain it. He's just pure evil, just wants to cause destruction. Filming the Crisis, did you have a favourite person to act opposite of, or someone that you didn't expect that you'll be filming a scene with? I just enjoyed everyone's energy, and I work with people I didn't get to work with on the first crossover, like Katie Lotz. I didn't work with her. I didn't work with Ruby Rose before, and it was fun playing off of them. And Brandon Routh, I didn't work with him before, and his suit, the Kingdom Come Superman, is probably one of my favourite suits of the new suits. It was amazing. Yeah, I freaked out when I saw that picture for the first time. Oh my goodness, and he's Superman. No other person should be in that suit. Now, I think that might have been a bit of a bait question to maybe try and get another actor that maybe hasn't been announced yet. So whoever did this interview was it was a smart question, a bit of a bait one. But I think LaMonica knew what was going on there. I think LaMonica's under an NDA. Don't talk anything about don't talk about anything that isn't public, and don't even if you're not 100% sure it's public, don't talk about it. Just talk about stuff people know already, and just leave it there. And even then, try and be a bit vague. So he's pretty smart with the way he answers these questions, especially as you can tell from the the questions and answers, I guess, that we picked out for this video. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. As I said, let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this. What from this interview with LaMonica gets you excited for Crisis? What are your different theories and stuff like that? But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support and just your hype for Crisis. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.